Now to the issue of crime on the subways. On the heels of a string of violent incidents, Governor Hochul is outlining a new safety plan.
It includes putting police officers on every overnight train from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Fox 5's Morgan McKay joins us now with more on how it would all work. Morgan.
Steve, Natasha, the goal is that starting on Monday, there will be 2 officers on every train overnight from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Governor Kathy Hochul says around 2,500 officers are patrolling the subways right now. They want to add an additional 750 officers to the platforms and around 300 officers to patrol the trains. But the NYPD telling me this will have to be rolled out in phases. Now, this is all part of an effort to increase safety on the subway and to also help riders feel safer. Although overall crime is down on the subway, felony assaults are up 30% on the transit system compared to 2020. According to the NYPD, the full deployment of officers on the subway will be rolled out in phases. Phase 1 will begin on Monday with just 100 officers at first, with the full rollout completed by the end of the month. Hochul says they will not be hiring any additional officers to patrol the trains, but rather will be expecting officers to work overtime. This overtime is expected to cost $154 million for the entire 6-month plan.
We're also making sure that not just, as I mentioned, the physical presence of police, it's those physical barriers, it's the LED lights, it's the cameras, but also I say it's time to crack down on the shameless fare evaders who just are so brazen. They just walk through, and others who are paying, they feel like, why should I bother?
Meanwhile, Mayor Eric Adams releasing his budget plan today, which kicks off a 6-month-long process of budget negotiations between his office and the city council. Adams' $114.5 billion spending plan includes an additional $500 million in homeless shelter funding and restores all cuts made to city agencies last year due to costs associated with the migrant crisis. Adams also claims that the city was able to make more than $2 billion in cost-saving cuts to migrant services, but the city comptroller arguing that these are not savings since the mayor over-budgeted for the migrant crisis last year. The city is also budgeting right now for about $900 million in NYPD overtime, but Adams says that he will not commit to staying at this amount.
I'm going to use every dollar that's needed to keep the city safe. That's my North Star. And if we have to use overtime to do it, we're going to use overtime to do it. The city's going to be safe. There is no price you could put on safety.
Now, we're also just finding out that the $154 million it will cost to have cops patrol the subways, the state will be funding $77 million of it, and the city will also be spending about $77 million to fund this entire plan. Reporting live, I'm Morgan McKay. Steve and Natasha, back to you.
All right, Morgan, thank you. And